devotees. Um, on behalf of SV Temple, I welcome you all to this great lecture, discourse on who is the hero of Ramayana. Um, the it will be delivered by our by Sri Anbil Ramaswamy. Sri Anbil Ramaswamy hails from Thiru Anbil, one of the 108 Divya Deshams established by the Arvas. He was born in 1925, and even at this age, he is very agile, I must say. He has visited at all the 106 Divya Desams, which are actually humanly possible. And it is a great privilege, actually, to go to all the 106 Divya Deshams. And after his retirement, he has been very active in this field of religious discourses and trying to spread the Sri Ramanuja's Siddhantam, or the philosophy of Sri Ramanujam. He underwent special courses under various acharyas and pontiffs for over 15 years, and then with their blessings, he came over to the US in view of to spread Sri Ramanuja's philosophy. During the past 20 years, he has been visiting various temples in USA and India, and he delivered lectures in those institutions. Apart from that, he has been contributing various articles to the various internet groups and souvenirs. His organization is, he is the president of Swami Deshika Darshana Satsangam, established in 1996, and he is, through that organization, they're spreading the Sri Vaishnava or Sri Ramanuja Siddhantam. He is also the founder, editor and publisher of Sri Rangashri, which is an electronic journal, and they have about 5,200 members in this electronic journal that includes people from various religions, including Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, and all other religions. And it is also throughout the world. So from throughout the globe, we have members. And if people are interested, the website is groups.yahoo.com/groups Sri Rangashri. You can see me. I can give you the email, the address. And apart from this, he has been involved in organizing various conferences and yajnas throughout India and US, and he has published various articles. Now, recognizing his great contribution to the Hindu religion, he has been conferred various awards, titles. The first is Sat Sampradaya Prachara Vichakshana Award by His Holiness Srimad Andavan, and Kainkarya Ratnam by the Sri Ramanuja Mission, and Swami Deshika Darshana Nidarshaka Simham by Swami Deshika Darshana Seva Samiti. And apart from this, various activities he has been involved in, he has also published various books on Hinduism. Hinduism Discovered is the first book, and Pearls of Wisdom from Srimad Ramayana. Thus spake the divine chauffeur. On the divine chauffeur is, we all know, Lord Krishna. And Sri Bhashyam Simplified. Swami Deshika sanctifies some holy places and holy waters. And finally, Trace Your Ancestors. These are some of the books he has published, and these books will be available at the temple soon. We'll be getting those books and it will be on sale. And so I must say that at this age, he is 88 years old, and he has taken up this great responsibility of spreading Hinduism, and I really thank him for coming and he's going to give us this lecture. Okay, so So now I turn over the stage to Sri Anbil Ramaswamy. Thank you, sir.
यो नित्यमच्युतपचम्ब युग्मरुग्म व्यामोदस्थिराणि तृणायमेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतस्य दैकसिन्धुः रामानुजस्य शरणं शरणं प्रपद्ये रामानुजयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशीं श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो सन्निधत्तां सारथि श्रीवासरङ्गपरकालमृत्याब्दलक्ष्मात्मरक्षण यदिद्विगामान्तम् आचार्यभक्तिपरिभूतम् अनर्गशीलं गोपालदेशिकमुनिं गुरुमाश्यामः श्रीवासगुरुवर्यकृपातचिह्नं गोपालदेशिकेदे समाप्तबोधं तत्पादपद्मविनिविष्टनजात्मभारं भक्त्यादिपूर्णरघुवीरकुरुं प्रपद्ये. Dear friends, I am so glad to be in your midst. There's a sloka in Mahabharata. Na ammayani tirthani mrit shilamayani cha te punanti urukalena dashanadeva sadhavaha. Which means you can go to any temples where the idol of Perumal is made of mrit, means mud or stone or metal. You can go to any tirthas, water bodies, and take dips there like Ganges, Kaveri, like that. But they will give you a benefit only in due course. What will give immediate relief? What will give immediate benefit is Darshanadeva Sadhavaha. People who are religious, who are astikas, it is that Sangamam that will give the immediate relief, immediate benefit. The sloka says from Mahabharata. So that way, I am very glad to be in your midst. Now, before I commence, I have to say one or two words about myself. I have become a dictator. You may wonder why. What does a dictator do? He does not listen to anybody. Or everybody has to listen to him only. Not because I have any qualifications, because of my disqualification. My hearing is totally down. So I don't listen to anybody. But others have to listen to me. That way I am a dictator. Now I hail from Anbil, as he mentioned. And he also mentioned about the books that I have written so far. Today's title is Who is the Hero of Ramayana? There are three ways of narrating Ramayana. One is to tell the story. Most of you know the story, at least at the outlines, if not in intricate details. And the second one is what morals are conveyed, how those morals were valid at the time of Rama, how they are valid even today. That's what lessons we learn from Ramayana. Third one is philosophical, that is Tattvam and all that. My book on Ramayana contains all the three. But here I was told, this is most of the people who attend here will be Balavihar people, kids will be attending. So I was cautioned, better you tell story. So I will tell the story to the extent that we can draw conclusions on the value systems it conveys, how we have to regulate our life in accordance with those values. And one more thing is, I can talk to you in Sanskrit also. In fact, when they conferred a title Kaingirya Ratnam in Ramanuja Mission, I gave an acceptance speech in Sanskrit for 9 minutes. You know why? Ramanuja knew Tamil, knew other languages also. In fact, he has traveled throughout the length and breadth of India in spreading Vaishnavism, Bengal Vaishnavam, Gaudiya Vaishnavam, Kashmir Vaishnavam, Maharashtra Vaishnavam, all of those places, he went there to propagate bhakti. So that way he knew all the languages, but why he wrote only 9 granthas, all of them are in Sanskrit. Why? In those days, about 1000 years ago when Ramanuja was living, the elite spoke through the language of Sanskrit. The religion actually spoke through Sanskrit. That is why he wrote everything in Sanskrit. So in deference to him, I gave a speech for 9 minutes in Sanskrit. But I am not going to impose that on you now. I can talk in Tamil, I can talk in Sanskrit, English also. Now, coming to before commencing this talk on who is the hero of Ramayana, I would like to ask a few questions to the audience, but then if you answer me, I won't hear. Now, how many children did Dasaratha have? 4. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna, right? But he had more than 4. With Kausalya, he had a daughter called Shanta. What happened was, Dasaratha and Kausalya were of the same Gotra. Shastras prescribed that same Gotra marriage is prohibited. What will happen if 2 people belong to the same Gotra get married? The offspring will be affected by some autism or something like that. So when Kausalya and Dasaratha had the daughter was suffering from autism. So he consulted great Vidwans there, Maharishis, Vasishtha was himself there. They said, you give it away in adoption to somebody. Dasaratha's friend was Romapata. He was also another king. So he gave her Shanta to that Romapata in adoption. It is this Shanta who married Rishi Shringar. You would have known the story of Rishi Shringar. She married that Rishi Shringar. It is this Rishi Shringar who performed the Aswamedha Yagam and Putra Kamashi Yagam for Dasaratha. What is the relationship of Rishi Shringar to Dasaratha? He was his son-in-law. Daughter's husband is son-in-law, right? It is a very rare case where a son-in-law performs a Putra Kamashi Yagam in order that his father-in-law begets children. That is how it happened. Now, instead of waiting for your answer, I am going on giving the answering. Okay. Now coming to the topic of the day. Everybody will answer, Rama is the hero of Ramayana. There is no doubt about it. Right? No, Rama is the hero of Ramayana. What is it? What a big deal about it. Why do you make it a big fuss about it?
We believe it's Anjaneya.
The point is, there are so many views as to who is the hero of Ramayana. Besides Rama. If it is not Rama, who else? Ramayana is also known as what is called Paulatsya Vadam. What is Paulatsya Vadam? A descendant of Pulastya. Who was the descendant of Pulastya? Ravana. Ravana was the descendant of Pulastya. If Paulastya is not killed, there is no place for Ramayana at all. If there is no Ravana, there can be no Ramayana at all. So some people say it is Paulatsya Vadam means only Ravana should be the hero. And then there is another name for Ramayana, Sitayaha Charitam Mahat. The whole story revolves around the travails of the great lady Sita. From beginning to end, it talks about Sita's travails. So, Sitayaha Charitam Mahat. In Tamil, they used to say, Shirairandaval Yatram. The one who was incarcerated. Though she was there only for 10 months incarceration. So some people say it is Sitaya Charitam Mahat means the hero of Ramayana should be hero or heroine is Sita only. Then there is another view, as I was just now mentioning about Rishi Sringar. It is this Rishi Sringar who is responsible for Rama's birth. If he had not performed that Putra Kameshti, Dasharatha would not have got that son or other sons also. So some people would say it is Rishi Sringar who should be considered the hero. Some others will say, and Valmiki uses the word yadrechaya, accidentally, suddenly, it happened. Every time there is a twist in the story of Ramayana, he uses that word. One is about Rishi Sringar. The second thing is about Kaikeyi and Kuni. Kuni was going up the steps of Kaikeyi's mansion in order to brainwash her against Rama. So if she had not gone there, if Kaikeyi had not listened to her, the Ramayana will not be there. So some people say Kaikeyi should be taken as the hero, or Kuni by extension. And yet another occasion where Valmiki says, Yadrichya, you know where? That is Surpanaka. When Surpanaka comes there, she wants to marry Rama. And you know the story how Rama and Lakshmana were tossing her about. So at that stage also, Valmiki says, Yadrichya. So these three accidents were responsible for the progress of the story of Ramayana. So some people may say it's also Surpanaka who should be considered. That's all beside the point. And then, you know what Swami Deshika says in his Dashavarada Stotram, when he is talking about Rama Avataram, he says, Dhanvisa Tanvitaraha. What does it mean? He was holding the Dhanvi, Kodandam. Dhanvisa Tanvitaraha. Rama didn't have any merit. It is his Dhanvi, it is his Dhanusu that is responsible for his prowess. So it is a Dhanu that should be treated as the hero. So we have talked about Rama, we have talked about Rishi Sringar, we have talked about Surpanaka, we have talked about Kaikeyi, Kuni, everybody. And then another very important way of looking at it is Rama Nama is more powerful than Rama himself. How do you say that? When Setu was built, Rama had to build a bridge across to the Sri Lanka and march his army through that. You know what Anjaneya did? He simply mentioned Ramanamam, and the next moment he was at the other end. So which is more powerful? So even at the time of Setu Bandhanam, where they were constructing it, the monkeys headed by Anjaneya wrote Rama Nama on the stones and threw them. The stones floated enough to make it possible for them to build a bridge. You know what Rama did? He also threw one stone without writing Ramanama. It sank. So which is more powerful? Who is more powerful? Rama or Ramanama? Okay. When Anjaneya sees Sita in the Ashokamana, he was contemplating how he should convey the news to her, the only way to convince her is to recite the Rama's Naam. So he got down there before her and then said, Rama, Rama, Rama. So then only she learned, oh, there is somebody who is talking about Rama. So all her sorrows were drowned on hearing the name of Rama. This again proves that Rama Nama is more powerful than Rama himself. Now, where do we stand? If all of them are not heroes, then there must be somebody else who is supposed to be hero. Who is that? All of you know that answer already, but I am coming to that answer only right now. The Upakrama Shloka for Ramayana Parayanam says, Tad Upakata Sama Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Nilatmajam. If you take the whole of Ramayana as a garland, the central pendant that gives brilliance to the whole garland is Anjaneya. Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Anilatmajam. Anilatmajam is Anjaneya. In fact, there is one writer called Swami Melatur Swami Hanumannadas. He has written Ramayanam and he has titled as Hanumayanam. So that's another twist. No, this Hanuman comes throughout that Sundarakandam. Of all the 7 kandams there, 7 chapters, it is Sundarakandam where Anjaneya is occupying it fully from beginning to end. He proved himself an ideal Duta. That you know what happened? Anjaneya acted as a emissary, a Duta for Rama, Rama Duta. He was so successful that the Lord thought, why not I also try? When Anjaneya is successful, why not I also do that? He actually did it in his Krishnavtara. He went as an ambassador, a Duta, to the Kaurava's court. You know with what result? He failed. Where Anjaneya succeeded, Bhagavan himself failed. Of course, there is a reason for that. Now, I told you that he is coming, occupying the entire Sundarakandam. What is so great about Sundarakandam? Does it mean Sundara means beautiful? Does it mean other kandams are not beautiful, they are ugly? That's not it. The point is, all the other kandams led to the place where the scene of action. Balakandam and Ayodhya Kandam describe the events in Ayodhya. Aranya Kandam deals with the events arising in the forest. Kishkinda Kandam deals with Sugriva Satyam, Valivadam, etc., which took place at Kishkinda. Yuddha Kandam deals with great war between Rama and Ravana and Lanka. And there is Uttarakandam also. What does Uttarakandam do? It gives the backgrounds of several incidents that took place that have been described in the earlier parts. In Sundarakandam stands apart in the sense that the hero of Kandam is Rama Bhakta Hanuman, who occupies the whole of Sundarakandam. Now, what has the word Sundara to do with Hanuman? To answer this question, we have to go into the story as to how this Kandam came to be written. Anjaneya has several names, you know that. He is known as Hanuman in Tamil, Hanumantaya, Mukhya Prana Devudu in Kannada, Hanumantudu in Telugu. As one moves north above the Indias, he is called Maruti, and in Maharashtra they call him Mahavira. Do you know that besides being called Vayuputran, Anjaneya, Shiri Terudi, Peri Terudi being Gurudadwar. He had another name which he himself did not know. The story goes that Valmiki, after writing the Aranya Kandam, wanted to write about Sundarakandam. He wanted to give the title to the next chapter. What title he could give? He wanted to give the name of Anjaneya because Anjaneya is a hero there. Anjaneya was there. Can I name it Anjaneya Kandam? No, I am only a Ramaduta, Ramadasa. I am not that great. I am only a servant. Don't make so big fuss about me. You name it anything else. Then Valmiki asked, can I name it Sundarakandam? Oh, okay, you can do that. Anything else, not Anjaneya. So, the Sundara was attached to that name of their title. He came back home. As he was running into the home, his mother, Anjana Devi, said, "Hello, Sundara, come on." What? What are you talking? That is the name I gave you at birth. That's a given name, as they call it. So he rushed back to Valmiki. No, sir, don't put Sundara also. I am told my name is Sundara. Please don't put it. He said, it's already over. Nothing can be done now. It has gone into print. So Sundarakandam got stuck to that chapter. There are other reasons why this Sundarakandam is called Sundara. It's beautiful because the descriptions in Sundarakandam are special, exceptional, exquisite and unsurpassed lyrical beauty. For example, Lanka by moonlight is in Bhavana Vishaya, Ravana's palace in Sargam 6, viewing the aircraft Pushpaka Vimanam, the aircraft itself, Pushpaka Varnanam, the liquor bar, Pana Bhumi Vishaya, Sargam 11, the destruction of the honey grove, Madhudana, Madhupana Pravesha, all these are, you read that, you be transported to a different world altogether. That's the kind of description he gives. Some allegorical significance is also mentioned, but I am not going to say that because it's more philosophy. Now, the similes. In Sundarakandam, more than in all other Kandams, Valmiki employs lot of similes. Those similes are original. Actually, they used to say Upama Kalidasa. Kalidasa was an expert in employing similes. I would say Valmiki is the forerunner even for that. Kalidasa himself drew inspiration from Valmiki for providing similes in his work, Raghuvamsha and other things. Now, Anjaneya was born. As soon as he was born, even as a baby, he was so hungry, felt so hungry. He looked up. Sun was coming on the sky. He thought it's a fruit because it was red in color. So he pounced on the sun and he was about to catch him, pluck that fruit. At that time, that was Amavasya day. Amavasya day is the day in which the Surya Grahana will come. Rahu was coming to devour sun. So when he saw Rahu, that seemed to be a better fruit than sun itself. So he was about to catch Rahu now. Rahu was scared. He ran helter-skelter to Indra and said, "Oh, look here, this guy is trying to devour me." So Indra came there with his Vajrayudham and hit Hanuman on his cheek. When he fell down, he fell on the other cheek. That also got bruised. That's why he's called Hanuman. Hanu in Sanskrit means cheek. That is how Hanuman. Then Vayuputran, is the son of Vayu, wind god. wind god was upset. How come my son has been hit like this? So he stopped wind from blowing. When there is no wind blowing, there is no air, what will happen? Nobody can breathe. The whole world came to a standstill. People didn't know what to do. What has happened? Indra, who wielded the thunderbolt, was the first to arrive. Then he said to Vayu, no, my thunderbolt, I bless him with a varan, a boon, that my thunderbolt will not affect him in future. I guarantee that. Then Varuna came, said, Varuna is a water god. He said, my Varuna ashram will not affect him. Yama said, my pasham, my rope for dragging people, that won't affect Anjaneya. Surya also blessed him, and Vishwakarma, Lord Shiva, everybody came there and blessed him their own powers. Finally, Brahma came and he said, even if somebody were to hurl Brahmastra on you, that will not bind you for a long time. Later on, at the Yudhagata, see, when Brahmastra was hurled at Anjaneya, he just feigned being swooned. He didn't swoon at all. He was very much aware of what was going on. But as a respect to Brahma, he feigned as if he was swooned. He had another reason why. He wanted to see Ravana in his darbar. So how could he go there unless he feigned his inability? So the Rakshasa horse would drag him to Ravana's court where he could meet with Ravana. That was another reason why he feigned that. Now what happened? With all these blessings from various devas, Hanuman was very much puffed up. He went and spoiled he went and played havoc to the Maharishis who were doing penance there, scattering their what little belongings they had. So they were annoyed. They said, you will forget your powers unless somebody reminds you of it. That is how he didn't know his own powers. At the end of it, when at the time of going to Lanka, before that, Jambavan reminded him, you are the only person who can do that, you got that power to do it. So he realized his powers only at that time. Until then he was not sure about, he was not at all aware of his powers. Anjaneya acquired all these siddhis because of the blessings of the various devas. He got the siddhis. What are those siddhis? Siddhi is an achievement, something which is achieved. It's a mystic achievement, mystic powers. What are those powers? You know that. They are called Ashtama Siddhis. Anima, reducing one's size to the point of an atom. This is said to be achieved by meditating on the Lord, as pervading tanmatras, sadha, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, like that. We see that when he goes to Lanka, he shrinks himself minute, something like an atom, so he could enter into Lanka. Mahima, expanding one's size to unimaginably giant proportions. This is said to be achieved by meditating on the Lord as Mahattattva, or the cosmic mind. So that is also, we see that also, he is taking Vishwarupam there. Laghima is weightlessness, making oneself light in weight, so as to float in air without any support, like a feather in the wind. The weightlessness is said to be achieved by meditating on the Lord as inherent in the atoms. Garima, heaviness, making oneself incredibly weighty so that nobody can move with the sadhaka. All this he achieved. Prapti, pervading, also known as Vyapti, penetrating through barriers and obstacles. This is said to be achieved by meditating on the Lord in aspect of Satvika Hankara. Parakamyam is materializing to bring unseen objects within the view of all. This is achieved by meditating on the Lord as Sutradhari. Yeshitvam, Lordship, having control over others. This is achieved by meditating on the Lord as the Lord of Trigunas. Vashitvam, subjugation, attracting others. This is achieved by meditating on the Lord as primal Lord Adi Purusha. So, all these siddhis can be obtained by meditating on the Lord in the various ways I showed. Because of those blessings of the Devas, he acquired them just naturally without any effort at all. So he was a master of all siddhis. And he is also Anjaneya was Pancha Bhuta Nayaka. The Anjaneya is the master of all the elements as established as seen from the Pausuram. Anjale Undru Petran, Anjale Undrai Tavi, Anjale Undru Araga, Ariyarkaga Yegi, Anjale Undru Petra, Anangai Kandu Ayala Uril, Anjale Undru Vitan, Avan Namai Alithikapan. Anjale Undru Petran is son of Vayu, wind god. Anjale Undraitavi, he crossed the waters of the ocean. Anjale Undraga, flying over the sky. Anjale Undru Petra, Anjale Undru Petra is Sita, the daughter of earth, as she sprang from the earth. Anjale Undraivitan, what is that? Fire. He kept fire in the Lanka. So, he is a Panchabhuta Nayakan also that way. Now there is a sloka which says, when to read what? Can we read Illustrated Weekly? Is there any time for that? Or any newspaper? Philadelphia Inquirer? When to read that, when not to read that? About Prata Dyutaha Prasangena. Madhyanya Sri Prasangata Ratro Chora Prasangena Kalo Gachiti Dhimatam Parata Dyuta Prasangena. Dyuta means dice, the game of chance. The story that deals with that Dyuta you must read in the morning. What is that story? That is Mahabharata. Madhyanya Sri Prasangata. Sri is, as I told you, Sita is the Sitaya Charitam Mahat. That is the greatest lady. That story you can read during daytime. Ratro Chora Prasangena. Who is the Chora? Chora means thief. Who is the thief? The greatest butter thief was Krishna. So, about Krishna you can read only in the night. Better you read in the night. That is the right time. Kalo Gachati Dhimatam. For people who are wise and intelligent, they will divide the day like that in reading the scriptures. Now the question is, see, today is Amavasya. That is the day when Anjaneya was born. So it's it's not a, probably there is something we didn't realize that. Now, what Hanuman can grant? Buddhir Bhalam Yashodairyam, you would have read it in Balavihar, right? Buddhir Bhalam Yashodairyam, Nirbhayatum Arogatam, Ajatyam Vakpurtum Cha, Anumaspanagved. You know that, right? It is very difficult to find a person who has all these traits together in the same person. Anjaneya was the one who was having everything. Buddhi, though a simian, he had super intelligence. Balam, his physical prowess is legendary. Yashas, what is Yashas? That's fame, reputation. You know why Yashoda is called Yashoda? She was very famous. What was she famous for? When any of the gopis in the whole of the higher body was suffering, she used to feel that suffering. So that kind of essence here. Dhairyam, his courage is unparalleled. Nirbhayatvam, his fearlessness in any situation is proverbial. Arogatam, he is never seen to be fatigued. He never felt any fatigue at all. Ajatyam is always alert and steadfast without any mental agitation. Vakpatutvam, his gift of the gab is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Now we come to how the Anjaneya crosses the ocean. We start from here. That is how the Sundaragalam starts. It starts with Anjaneya's crossing over the ocean. He flies through the sky to the other end. But then, after offering prayers to Acharya, Surya, Mahendra, his father, Vayu, Brahma, who granted him all the boons, and other Bhutaganas, he made his body grow beyond imagination. Unable to bear the impact of the pressure of his feet, the whole mountain shook as if in an earthquake. The trees that got uprooted followed him like the retinue of a king following him. So I told you about similes, In the respective place, I will be mentioning about the similes also. When Anjaneya took off, jumping over to cross the ocean from the top of the mountain, the trees that got uprooted by his speed followed him on his path for a while. This was like dear friends and relatives who accompany one going on a long journey. When the trees could not follow anymore because of the decrease in their speed, they fell into the sea, scattering far and wide their flowery tribute. It looked as if the friends and relatives were returning home after seeing him off with a heavy heart and streaming eyes. This was like dear relatives following only for a short distance the one who sets out on a long journey. There's an important message there for us in this, that we should not accompany a person for too long a distance if we desire his or her return safe, and so on. That's what this is one of the lessons I was mentioning you. Some lessons we have to learn from the Ramayana. This is one of the lessons. When somebody goes to another place, you can go a few steps and say bye. You are not supposed to go along with that person for any length of distance. You have to come back. Another important point to note in connection with the Sargam dealing with Hanuman's crossing the ocean is the Sargam 1 is one of the longest Sargams which has to be recited in one go and not in bits and pieces. If one wishes to overcome obstacles like Hanuman did, 3 obstacles he encountered en route. This Sargam is very important. When somebody starts the Parayanam of this Sargam during the Sapta Sarga Parayanam or whatever, before the Ramanavami, which is coming on 8th of this month. So before Ramanavami, people used to start this, what is called Saptaham. That is 7 days they used to recite. When it comes to Sundaragandam, it has got to be recited in one go, the Sargam 1, not the whole Sargam 1 only. That is more than 68 chapters, 68 Sargams there. The first Sargam has to be done in one go. Because Prarabhyate Nakulu Vigna Bhayena Nichehi. It is so difficult to recite in one go. People who are afraid of not being able to complete it, they will not even start it. Prarabhyate Nakalu Vigna Bhayena Nichehi. Those are nichas who don't even start fearing that they will not be able to complete. Prarabhya Vigna Vihata Viramanti Madhyaha. The people who are a little above that, they start it, but in between, when they encounter some kind of difficulties, they will drop off. That should not be done also. Vignahi punappunarapi pratihanyamanaha prarabhya sottamana na parityajanti. Uttamana, the people who are uttama, that is who are the most desirable, what they do is, when one they start, they will not stop halfway, they will complete it. That is a Niti Shatakam. Another Niti Shatakam says, Nindantu Niti Punya, Niti Nipuna, Yadiva Stuvantu. Let people condemn or they may praise, we don't care. Lakshmi Samavashatu, Gachatu Vayateshvam. Lakshmi, wealth come in or go, we don't care. Addayava Marnamastu, Yogantareva. If death is to come today, okay, let it come. If it is going to come only at the end of the next yuga, okay, that's also okay. Nyayat pataha pravichalanti padamna dhiraha. Those who are bent upon success in their efforts will never give up. They will go ahead with that. Now, what is the first obstacle Hanuman encountered on his journey to Lanka? Mainaka. Mainaka is a friendly mountain. The mountain, as he saw see the Anjaneya coming, it rises up from the ocean. And then says, look Anjaneya, you please take rest, eat the fruits that we offer you, take rest and then you can proceed. What did Anjaneya do? Did he stay there for a lunch? He said, no, I am very busy, I am going on a mission. I cannot be distracted by all. Then Mainaka says, you know, in the good old days, the mountains had wings. They were flying here and thither and troubling people. That was at a time, long time ago. And Indra cut their wings with his Vajrayam. So all of them fell down. This Mainaka mountain, it hid under the ocean. And the ocean protected the Mainakam from getting affected. So that was because of Vayu. The Mainaka, because of the help rendered by Vayu, it fell down under the ocean, submarine. So, as a matter of gratitude to your father, you are Vayu's son, so I want to give you, receive you and give you some kind of ahar. So you come and eat. Anjaneya said, no, I am not going to stay here. We will see some other time. So a person who is bent upon duty will not be distracted by any enticements in the middle. No, he goes a little distance further. And there is another Rakshasi, the mother of serpents, Surasa, her name. She comes up and says, opens her mouth. And then she says, oh, I got a good food today. I'm going to eat you up. If at all you want to go beyond me, you have to enter my mouth and then come out. Then you can go. Will anybody enter the mouth of a serpent and still escape? Even now it is not possible. So, Anjaneya said, okay, I will do that. She went on opening her mouth wide, so many yojanas, and Hanuman also increased his size. We saw that Mahima and all that. He increased the size, his own body, so much. The more she opened, the more he grew. Suddenly, he shrank and got out of her mouth. So Surasa said, oh, what a brilliant fellow you are. You were able to do that. Nobody has escaped my jaws, but you have done it. So he blessed the Hanuman, you will be successful in your mission. He goes a still further. He meets another obstruction. This time the obstruction is from Simhika. The Simhika is capable of pulling somebody by catching hold of the shadow. Hanuman's shadow, she caught hold and dragged him. Yes, what is this? My speed is reducing, somebody is pulling me back. What is this? Then he sees Simika. Oh, you are the person who are doing that. So he hit her with his left hand, not with the right hand, because it's a lady. He didn't want to. Anjaneya said, I am not going to hit you with the right hand. But it's all Yuddha Dharma in those days. So he hit her and she fell down, and then she became, she got her original form. By a curse, I have come here. So I bless you, you go there and you will be successful in your mission. After all these 3 obstacles, he goes to Lanka. He sees the Lanka's prosperity. What kind of prosperity it has, you know? It was shone like divine cities of Amaravati, the capital of Devendra, Alakapuri, the capital of Kubera, and Bhogavati, the serpent kingdom. It outshone all these divine capitals. The greenery of the flora and the lively fauna were sights for God to see. The already forfeited city, fortified city, was further protected with unsurpassed homeland security. Why? Especially after abduction and incarceration of Sita, he augmented the homeland security there. None could enter the Lanka like that. Hanuman saw that, oh, it is very difficult. What is Rama going to do here? He cannot win over all these people. He cannot crush them either with Sama, Veda, or Dhana, or Danda. Nothing will work here. So he was thinking how to enter the city. As he was about to enter, there was the god called Lankini. Lankini was a guardian deity of the impregnable and impenetrable city. She intercepted Hanuman and prevented him from entering the city without first vanquishing her. What sort of difficulties he goes through? Mainakam, Surasai, Simika, now Langini. Which means when you are preparing for your studies, even if there are some obstacles coming on the way, don't fall for them. You have to concentrate on your studies, okay? And he hit her also. Then when she fell down, she said, you will be successful. I have a broom which says that when I am struck by a monkey, that is the foreboard, that will foreboard the catastrophe for the Rakshasas. So you are sure to be successful in your mission. Hanuman had overcome all the obstacles in jumping over the ocean, reaching Lanka, and all that. Then he wanted to see the city. During daytime, he cannot go there because all the Rakshasas will be there awake. So she was waiting for the nightfall. At the nightfall, you get that moon. The full moon is shining on the sky. So he saw Lanka by moon. Lanka by moon was more attractive than Lanka at noon. At noon. But how can he enter that? Advarena Mahabahu Prakaram Abhi Upupluve Nishilankam Mahasatvo Vivesha Kapikunjaraha, says Valmiki. What he did was, he entered through an Advara. Not Dvara means gate. Advara means not gate. Something other than gate. This is one of the strategies to be adopted by warriors seeking victory over their enemies. They are supposed to make a backdoor entry at an hour when none from the enemy camp could notice anything out of the way. Also, it is said that Anjaneya took a tiny farm to outfit the enemy camp. Perhaps it was a case of saying, "Honey, I shrunk myself." The point is that for one who desires victory, entry into the enemy fortress should be under cover of darkness or night, in full disguise, and by jumping over a protective wall, avoiding the regular gateway. So this is one of the lessons that Sundarakaand teaches us. When you want to enter the enemy camp and be successful, you have to enter through a backdoor entry. You cannot go through the regular entry. Now, under the moonlight, he goes from place to place. Being very small in size also, he is able to move around freely. He goes to the mansions of Pragastan, Mahaparshan, Kumbhakarnan, Vibhishnan, Mahodharan, Virupakshan, Vidyutjigvan, Vidyanmali, Vajradamshram, Sukan, Sharanan, Indrajit, Jambumali, Sumali, Rashmiketu, Suryasatru. These are all the names of the Rakshasas. And then Dunrakshan, Sampadi, Vidyut Rupan, Ganan, Viganan, Sukanasan, Bakran, Shatan. These are all names of Rakshasas. Hrasvakarnan, Damshan, Romashan, Yuddhonmattan, Mattan, Dvajagrivan, Nadi, Indrajikvan, Hastimukan, Karalan, Pishachan, Shonitakshan, that is blood, and Ravana himself. And was amazed by the kind of luxurious life they were enjoying. Though Vishwakarma and Maya constructed Lanka and all these mansions, they were built actually under the personal guidance and direction and supervision of Ravana himself. Then Anjaneya sees the Pushpaka Vimanam, the flying mansion. Is it an RV? I don't know. It will not. It will have its own hangars and other appurtenances right on the skies itself. It won't land down. It could fly any place as per the mere wish of its owner and could accommodate as many as he wished. With the powers gained by penance of over 10,000 years, Ravana fought with his brother Kubera, who himself got it from Brahma after intense tapas, and snatched it from him. You know another interesting story about Kubera? Kubera's name was not Kubera. He was Subera earlier. Subera means, Beram means body, the Vigraham. That is Mula Beram, Utsava Beram, like that we talk, you know. Beram means physical appearance. Subera means one who appears very handsome. That was the name of poor fellow. Once what happened? A man came to Kubera and told him, "Oh, you are so handsome, man. See this fellow, Shiva. He is, and Parvati is married to him. What a tragedy. Why not you try to entice her?" This fool of a Suberan tried to do that. He wanted to entice Parvati. Shiva got very wild. "Oh, you are doing this. So, because you are handsome, you are thinking like, yeah, you can do that. You will become Kurubi. You will become Kubera. Kubera means one who is ugly. That's why Subera became Kubera. Though he was the lord of wealth, he could control wealth. Physical appearance, you can see that. In Lakshmi Kubera Puja, you got it. You find that picture where the Kubera is with a pot belly and very ugly appearance. You know what happened? Every deity has a vahanam, you know that? All deities have their own Vahanam. Shiva is having his bull, Garuda for Vishnu, everybody is having, and peacock for Muruga.